Look at that. I figured it out.
Hey,
There you
you're
go.
fading. Good job. Now you're not going to turn it up, so the next things I try to play
Well, yeah.
aren't going to work.
I know it. I'm smart like that, buddy. So
Hey, happy Friday to you.
happy Friday. You're kind of crabby this morning. I don't know. You're a little bit on
Do you
the
sense I'm crabby, or
there's a little sourness coming from Jimbo Covert here in
and
your
I don't know why. I really don't know. The only days I'm aware of those Jimbo Covert. Yeah.
So you don't know why you're crabby. It's Friday.
Well, I don't know. I don't think I was really crabby, but maybe you got me crabby. I don't know.
Well, you're just disgusted by some of the things we were talking about pregame.
Well, I was, yeah, some of the things we talked about, but well, it's all good.
Yeah,
it's been a long week, basically.
It has. It has. You've had a couple of senior nights, right? Like one in Heidegger and one in Scranton.
Nope, just one in Scranton, but then we have a throwback next week, so it'll be the last 2 home games for Gabby. And
gotcha.
But yeah, we've been on the road all week. We go to Trenton tomorrow, which is up by Williston, which is 3.5 hours. Looking forward to that drive and the
yeah, that's tough.
The good thing is, I think all the girls want to eat at Culver's, so I guess we're going to go eat at Culver's after.
Well, there you go. You got to look at the positives, buddy. Always got to stay on the positive side.
Culver's have steaks. I don't think
they do. But you can get like a triple burger. That'll be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Knock that out. Yeah, well, we got a big weekend here. We got Mrs. Decker and myself have a birthday coming up. So
yeah,
we have the same birthday. Yep, February 4th. We got the same birthday
tomorrow.
Is it? Oh, happy birthday, Roger. Day early. So tell him I said hello and happy birthday. And so usually we go on a trip somewhere, but with this year with the wrestling and Lily soccer and all, it's just kind of like we're going to go somewhere later on in the spring.
There you go.
Yeah, figure something out and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we got wrestling tomorrow. Tonight's kind of chill. I actually got to work a little bit after we're done here today too. Usually I don't work on Fridays. Yeah, I usually don't work on Fridays, but I was at a meeting this morning, an actual in-person meeting, which is weird for me. Yeah, and then so yeah. But it has been a long week, but thankfully we've had some nice weather, and it's going to continue. It's just a little chilly here today.
Yeah, winter's on its way. I just telling you, I was working out in the backyard the other day and getting a bathroom vent fixed. Yeah, I'm standing there, and I told the guy as we're working, I'm like, God, it's hot out. He's like, shut up.
Shut up.
Hey, you're right. It's January 31st.
Yeah.
So spring is, fall is still here. Kind of summerish fall is still here, but now we got the spring-like conditions. But I know we're going to be doing some podcasts when either from my basement because I can't get to work, or there's going to be wintry days that are still on its way. But
the groundhog saw a shadow today, so it's going to be an early spring, brother.
Well, actually, that's kind of a false, because usually when he sees a shadow, spring comes in 6 weeks, and if he doesn't, then we have 6 more weeks of winter. So,
well, either way, I'm glad you're up on the rodent talk, because I just think he's a rodent, and it doesn't really matter.
It is, yeah. It does. No, it doesn't matter, but it's the same way. It's just like, okay, you want to look at it positively? Okay, 6 weeks till spring.
Yeah.
Or if you're a downer today, it's all right, 6 weeks of winter left.
Yeah, whichever way. 100%. I know what way I would look at it.
Yeah, well, spring's already here in North Dakota, so we're
pretty much here too.
When you have back-to-back 60-degree days, that's
I mean, there's no snow on the ground with the exception of like where the snow plows put it. You know what I mean? I mean, where it's been packed up and the snow blowers and shovels have thrown it. But other than that, it's like my grass is still green, and I'm kind of loving that.
Yeah.
Sam asked me.
Mine's brown, but
is it okay? Yeah. Sam asked me if we could get the convertible out. He wants to drive it around. I'm like, jeepers. So
we'll see. Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to get it out.
Okay. Yeah. And you got to clean it before you put it away again. And
right. It's a rear wheel drive car, and if he drives it, he's gonna frickin' be the Duke boys, and then he'll have
chips in the driveway, and then all of a sudden the unexpected snowstorm will hit. It'll be buried till March.
Yeah, we don't want that. So, kind of a slow moving sports week here, with no football games and some.
Yeah, but they did announce next year's NFL opponents. I don't know
Oh,
if you
did
saw
they?
the Vikings or not. I saw the Bears one.
Yeah, that
I
was a
sent
while
my
ago.
son right away, and I think on the agenda could be a trip to Arizona. You got a direct flight to Arizona?
Yeah, actually, I think we do.
Away games, they have Arizona, San Francisco, Houston, Colts, and Washington.
Yeah, I think we still fly from Rochester to Phoenix.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't checked into
And the
it.
home games are New England, Carolina, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Seattle, and the Rams.
I wouldn't mind. I think we should go to Chicago for a
I'm seeing a 12-5 season.
Oh, you're already talking about that. Japers. Japers, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta let this season. Oh, I know. We gotta let this season
See
finish out.
Detroit at like 6-11, but I don't know.
You sent me that. You sent me that the other day of both of us picking the records, and we're like, yeah, we didn't do real well on that one, did we? So, but I don't know. And so our kind of some of our talk today was going to be about who's going to go where and who's going to do what. We're going to kind of pick a few players out, and neither one of the coordinators from Detroit got jobs. So is that a good thing, Nolan, or is that a bad thing?
Supposedly they decided to stay.
Yeah, and I did. The Lions fans were wanting Glenn fired halfway through the year, and they were kind of almost losing games here and there. But
I don't know. I wanted Dan Campbell fired after he was aggressive in the Super Bowl or in the NFC Championship.
Yeah. And it's funny because I do watch a little bit of the sports shows in the morning, and then like one day they're all like, oh, I love it. You're just the greatest. And then he should have taken the field goal. It's like, you can't flip flop, man.
You can't Dan Orlovsky it, man. You just gotta,
you got to go with it. I mean, we've hated him from day one. So that's where we're at, and we're sticking with it. So,
they're staying put. Brian Flores is staying put, right?
Yep.
So
absolutely. And then
took care of their whole offensive scheme, and they hired a pretty good offensive coaches, I thought, from various spots. But it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of like everybody's diagnosing it, going, they're doing that because they're going to build around Fields. Next one is like, nope, is they're going to draft Williams with those? Like, no, you guys have no idea.
Yeah. And you really don't.
There was one question, though, going on today. Possibly Cliff Kingsbury going to be hired in Las Vegas
as offensive coordinator. Okay.
So will that push a trade with the Bears and Raiders?
Well,
there was talk of it earlier.
Yeah.
And the Bears would get Crosby in the trade along with some picks.
Oh, I don't think you'd want to. You want to talk about that right now? Or no. Okay. That I don't think the Raiders would want to get rid of Crosby. Would you? Seriously? I mean, they've done it before, right? They traded Mac.
Well, you're bringing in a generational quarterback. Come on. Who's
unproven. I don't know. I know.
Well, I agree with you.
We'll talk about
the amount of picks that I'm seeing. A lot of them are kind of bogus. One. I mean, I just told you the one with the Broncos. They said Patrick Surtain and like all four of their first picks this year, their first 5 next year and 5 after that. And I'm like,
that guy's actually smoking a Super Bowl.
Yes.
If he's thinking that, but you know what? So the Packers made that interesting move. They hired the head coach from Boston College to be their defensive coordinator.
Oh, okay.
So would you leave a college head coaching job for the NFL? I suppose if your aspirations are to be an NFL coach.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
probably the right way to go. But
Packers are on the way up. You fix that defense in Green Bay. All of a sudden, maybe after a year, you may get some head coach interviews.
Right. Yeah. Could be. Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I don't know. Head coaching, I think, even coordinator positions. I mean, God, you could go from sitting in the NFC Championship to next year if Detroit finishes 6-11. Both Johnson and Glenn could be fired because their defenses are horrible.
Kind of like, just kind of like the Eagles and like Mike McCarthy. Yeah. You had one of the best records in the NFL, and the people are talking about your job. And then did you hear Jerry Jones like, "Will take us as far as Dak will take us"? And the guy said, "Well, he led you to the playoffs and you lost." And he says, "I know. That's as far as he's going to take us. It's like, huh?
Mm.
Yeah. So
what does that mean?
And there's so much media coverage on everything. And here we are talking about it as well. It's just, I called Jerry last night and he didn't answer. He was out to dinner with somebody. And so he hasn't returned my call yet, but hopefully he'll come back.
Yeah. Well, that was my first question for you. My second question, with Jim Harbaugh going to the Chargers, what do you think his first move as head coach is going to be? I'm finding it hard to believe that Staley's getting opportunities out there.
Is he going to come back as a defensive coordinator or what?
Well, that team's looking at him and just like, well, I guess he's not in charge of the offense, so he's not going to go for it on 4th and 17 from his 20.
I don't know I know would you bring guys from the college game with you?
I think he brought one already. I think
Did he? Okay.
It was offensively or defensively, but I know he brought one guy because the Chargers did kind of clean house.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Is he happy with Herbert? Obviously he is, maybe.
Oh, he says Herbert's he's starstruck with Herbert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was like his first thing he said is like he was starstruck with that. I don't think they're going to get Yeah, I don't think they're going to get rid of Justin. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. I think he had some crappy head coaching going on there. So we'll see what Harbaugh can do.
Yeah.
We'll see what Harbaugh can do. So what do you want to talk about first? You want to do our 6-pack or do you want to talk about who we think quarterbacks and coaches and other running backs are going to go to? You tell me.
Let's go 6-pack.
You want to do the 6-pack? All right.
This was kind of my idea this morning. I said we got to do a while back. I thought we should do our top 6 from just certain NFL teams. Like if we said Carolina Panthers, we're popping out six guys that
Steve Berline,
Steve Smith,
Smith Jr. or senior. No, he's a senior.
Yeah. Senior, yeah. But
so
we're going to start off with the Vikings today, and I do have 6 Vikings that,
Gary Anderson,
Blair
Walsh, Jan Stenerud,
yeah,
Fuad Rivez.
Thanks for ruining my whole top 6 there, but
yeah, there you go. So, since the Vikings are my team, I think I should probably start. What do you think?
Oh yeah, you start. You bet.
Okay,
you have at it.
So my number 6, kind of played in the 80s. One heck of a safety, had like the strongest grip. I just remember people saying that about Joey Browner. Was very, very I remember watching a Monday night game and a Denver Bronco running back was running into the end zone and Browner grabbed him and pulled him back and he blew out the dude's knee. Ouch. And the guy, Joey Brown, he was legit. I love that dude.
Oh, yeah.
And they show him every once in a while, kind of like hanging out on the sidelines. And I think he was at that Monday night game that we went to with the Bears.
Yeah, he was.
He was there.
I think he was. Yep.
Yeah. And so, so number 6 is Joey Browner. He was the safety. I think he was the strong safety. Just fun to watch him tackle people.
Another guy that was at the US Bank Stadium that night, Robert Smith, wasn't he there?
Yes, he was.
I like Robert Smith. That guy had a stride. Him and Matt Forte were kind of the same type of runners. They had those long strides. They went up the sidelines. It's like, wow. Robert Smith punished people. I mean, so I was impressed watching Robert Smith. I never went against him, but
man, he retired early too. And he was so after the Vikings lost one of those games that was said that Robert Smith was hungover. They were out the night before getting hammered, all that stuff. And so
well, I do have to throw out my number 5 because it is Joey Browner.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You said him, I'm like, yeah.
I didn't think he would be the one that would be the one of our
he's my one of 3 defensive players that I picked. So Joey Browner was my number 5. So
okay. Well, I'm sure maybe he wasn't because we kind of talked about it, but my number 5 is Randy Moss, and I'll tell you why. Great receiver, probably one of the best Vikings ever. But when he came back the second time and he complained about the catering and all that, I mean, he just came back and it was like, just go away, and just go away. And I'm generally a pretty positive guy, and I like people that want to make differences in the world and not complain about catering and stuff like that. So I still had to put him in there because the guy had some great games and it was a fantastic wide receiver, but he's my numero 5.
All right.
Yep. And then
You want to keep going? You can go 4.
Yep, I'll go number 4. And he was a Chicago Bear for 1 year. Actually, I got 2 guys that were Chicago Bears for a couple of years.
In your closet Bears fan, that happens.
Well, yeah, that's true. So Jared Allen is my number 4. He was kind of that spark plug of some of those good teams back in the day, and he never really cared about what people thought, and he'd get up and he'd do his rope dance, and he would.
Yeah, that was so irritating as a Bears fan.
Yeah,
it's like don't let him get a sack, and sure enough, he did.
Sure enough, and he chased Dan Orlovsky out of the end zone.
Yeah.
So but he didn't get enough to get to my number 1. So Jared Allen, numero 4.
All right. My number 4, craziest sumbitch that ever probably played, John Randall.
Oh yeah.
That guy, he's black. He put black over his face.
Yeah.
It's just like, I would not want to line up across from him. I mean, if I was a running back, I'd be running opposite way. That man was insane. So
pretty cool. That's pretty
John
cool.
Randall.
All right. 4. My number 3. I've actually met this gentleman, but at the time I met him, he was an actual Supreme Court judge, and that's Alan Page. I just think Marshall, Page, Eller, all those guys, Purple People Eaters, Paul Krause. I mean, there were so many of that team. I was just going to put the Purple People Eaters, but I thought you would maybe say, "Yeah, you can't do that. That's more than one player."
It's your podcast, buddy.
Okay, so really chill guy. Met him. Just a great guy. Really, really cool. Played for the Bears for 2 years, I think, didn't he? Before he retired.
Yes, I believe so.
So, but
all right. At least I can say one guy that's not on your list then. Number 3 for me is wide receiver Ahmad Rashad.
Oh yeah,
I liked him.
Yep,
he was good.
Made some pretty good catches.
Oh yeah, had some good catches, but just as an announcer, I mean,
went to the end. Came to the NBA and started. There's that. My number 2, I got Mr. Tarkington. I think he was the QB amongst QBs and was just I can't say enough about him. So he's always been my favorite, but I had to pick another favorite today just because of who he is. So, but Fran Tarkenton, number 2.
All right. Mine is Randy Moss.
Okay.
And Randy Moss is 2. So our number 1, they're both defense. Is he defensive guy?
No.
No? Yours offense?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, then we got.
Dude, I told you he was. I told you he was offense.
Oh, did you? Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
All right. Well, mine's defense, so that's good.
Okay. And who is it? You go ahead and I'll do mine.
Say mine first.
Yep.
All right. He wore number 55, defensive player.
Was he a stud?
Studwell. Yes. Yeah. Scott Studwell. Yeah. I'm a defensive guy, though. I mean, I'm like Brian Urlacher, Mike Singletary. I mean, give me a good linebacker, and they'll almost take you to the promised land.
Yeah, legit. Studwell's, he was pretty cool. Got to meet him too. Him and Matt Blair. We used to go to the Vikings training camp over Mankato, and they were just. I mean, those were the days where those were the days, Nolan. But you didn't have to pay for their autograph. You just brought you bought $1 book and they would sign it for you, and it was cool.
Got a lot of autographs when I went to games.
Yep. So my number 1, and the only reason I picked him is because this guy's got huevos that don't quit, and I picked Ontario Smith. That's what I did.
The Wizinator?
The Wizinator, brother. To get caught in the airport for that, I just think wow, that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty awesome.
Ontario Smith. I guess we all have our
I
guess that's like if I pick Kevin Butler for my number 1 for the Bears.
Yeah. I mean, dude was grinding on a little weed and smoking it and trying to.
My favorite Bear is Steve Fuller, the quarterback.
So And I only did that just to talk about him, but he's I don't know. It takes a lot, man, to carry something like that through the airport.
Well, yeah,
You know, and like kudos to him.
and
But
have a
he
pretty
was
awesome name for it.
and he was freaking actually a pretty good running back that first
Yeah.
year he was with the Vikings, and then all of a sudden he
Well,
got
you
caught.
are when you're high and you're,
Hey,
I mean, you have no fear. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna run through Scott Studwell. Oh, he doesn't play anymore. I don't care. I'm still gonna run through him.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just had to just throw that name out there. I thought it was pretty funny. The Wizinator. The Wizinator.
Yes,
Yes.
the Wizinator.
And so, being an HR guy, I've had experiences with drug tests and people like the occupational health people call me up. Yeah, we've got a person here that their pee isn't to temp. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like,
Isn't
well,
to temp?
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
did they like transport it from home? Is that what you're saying?
yeah. They like
Oh,
snuck it in, or they tried to like
Yeah.
do something, or yeah. So I've been part of that and call the people up, and they're like, yeah, I won't pass the drug test for another 30 days. It's like, okay, well, don't come back in 30 days because
yeah, no doubt.
we don't. Yeah, so it's it all works together for me. So I thought it was kind of funny. But so there you go. You're like, yeah, hey, it's life, man. There you go.
It is life, yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's talk about your Justin Fields. You want to do that next? We're going to jump right into that, or you want to
Yeah, I mean, we've got
send us your favorite Vikings on our website. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
read some off on Monday. Where you're from, all that stuff. It's okay to comment on our articles and that too, people.
yeah.
We'd
be
actually
afraid.
prefer that. Yeah, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
And if you don't
Oh,
want to
you know, you
call you
mentioned-
out, we won't.
Yeah, you mentioned Fields. We mentioned Cousins.
Yep.
Russell Wilson.
Yep.
We seen reports already that Kirk Cousins signed a 2-year, $71 million deal, and folks,
Yeah.
free agency has not started yet.
Yeah.
So forget about the false news articles out there, but trades can happen, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So anything can happen except for free agency signings and all that.
Sure.
stuff.
Sure. So
But
All
as
right,
we get
well, let's-
closer, and I know the Bears pulled the trigger on a trade last year pretty early. I think it was in February as well, because that other team either wants to prepare for the draft or make sure they have their ducks in a row. They don't want to wait till draft night.
yeah, I don't think unless you have a plan going in, and
Right.
like if
Right.
the Bears. So do you think the Bears are calling others, or you think it's both? You think teams are calling the
I think
Bears?
it might be both. I mean, if I'm Ryan Poles, I'm sitting down going, you know what, I'm gonna call the Raiders.
Yeah.
Well, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
You want to trade a haul for Williams, or do you want Justin Fields?
Do you listen to the media? Do you read Twitter? Do you? I mean, I don't know. It'd be kind of fun to.
I
Like
think
you-
if I'm Poles, I think you damn right. I read Twitter. I bet you. I mean, I like as many people as I can, and just kind of giggle at all the stuff. And yeah,
Right.
you're probably going to get some ideas from some of these. Some of these are actually pretty smart entries into Twitter. I mean, some of them you're like, yeah, that one makes sense.
Yeah.
But in the end, I know I'm going to be if we do trade that number one pick, I know I'm going to be going. That's all we got, you know. Or if
So
we
you-
trade Justin Fields, it's going to be that's all
Yeah.
we traded for.
Yeah. I saw Justin Fields a trade like a second round and a fourth round going. I think it was. I want to say it was the
Yeah.
Steelers.
Yeah, and that second round I think is a second and another pick would be reasonable for Fields. To me, I think he's probably worth a little bit more. Just the fact if he does get into an offense where he's able to, I mean, look what he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't rush that many yards. I mean, running quarterbacks. I mean, look who's in the Super Bowl. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not looking at a lot of running quarterbacks.
Right. So
You
okay.
build around that game manager.
All right. So where does he go? Or where does he stay? Here's the
I'm
question
still
to you, Nolan. Here's
I'm
the
still
question
so
to
up
you.
in the air. One day I'm thinking, yeah, we're gonna trade it for a haul. We're keeping Fields, and then the
Yeah.
next day I'm like, no, we're gonna keep Williams. We're gonna trade Fields, and we're gonna draft a wide receiver at 9, and we're gonna be good.
Okay.
Um,
So I'm going to ask you this question.
Justin Fields is a starting quarterback for blank next season.
If he's not with the Bears.
Let me repeat that question. Justin Fields is the starting quarterback for blank next season.
Atlanta.
And I would say Atlanta too. And that's all the media is saying. You kind of piqued my interest with the Raiders because I think they would do it.
I think the Raiders would do it in a heartbeat, but
I don't think they're going to give you Max Crosby though.
No,
I don't.
no.
That
was one of those like a month and a half ago. Now,
okay,
you're looking at maybe a defensive play. I mean, if you want Max Crosby, it's going to be for Caleb Williams. You're keeping Fields. You're trading Caleb Williams to.
So you're gonna trade the number 1 pick and give it to.
Yep. But if you're like Washington or New England, do you trade with the Bears and then turn around to Washington and go, hey, you want Caleb Williams?
Well, that could be the thing. I mean,
you're going to give us more than we gave Chicago just because. Now it's worth a lot more because we have Caleb Williams. How much do you want him?
Right. And I don't know. That's a good point, Nolan. That could be. There's 3. Well, I would say 2 legit. This Jaden Daniels from LSU. I never watched him play. Is he? I mean, it's between Drake May and Caleb Williams. And
I don't even know if you put Drake May into the Caleb.
Really?
Williams.
Okay.
I mean, they talked the same thing about Mitch Trubisky. I mean, I don't know.
That's crazy.
College. I mean, North Carolina doesn't play anybody.
Right.
It's like when NDSU plays their season. They've got 6 games in their schedule. Well, Alabama, they've got 6 games in their season that they win 50-0.
Yeah.
And offensively, you've got these offensive juggernauts, the stars, but put them in against an NFL team, and then
Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa aren't doing very well this year.
Yeah. But I don't know. I look at some when you bring up these quarterbacks that don't play top 25 teams very much. It's like, how do you? I mean, when they're beating Grambling and they're beating these schools.
And one guy told me once it's all about the practice. That the quarterbacks get better with practice. That's what I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. But you're also going against not a defensive or a college juggernaut defense either. You're going against guys that are like, well, I just came here because my relatives live here in Oklahoma, so I'm a Sooner. No, I don't know. We were burnt by a North Carolina quarterback, so I don't have any. I don't know. I'd rather probably see like a Bo Nix or McCarthy. But
I thought you would say that Justin Fields is going to be the Chicago Bears starting quarterback.
I'm leaning I'm leaning that way, but I'm thinking I just don't know how you pass up on. I don't know.
Then you weren't a Caleb Williams fan.
So I know. I'm not. I think I'm getting persuaded by these damn Xers out there.
You got to quit listening to X. So, all right.
I guess the big thing is, overall, the haul that the Bears could get, because when you listen to some of the professional analysis, they're talking, hey, you build your team, you bring a quarterback in.
Right.
I mean, look what the Bucs did.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go get Tom Brady. We've got our team. Let's go spend our money on Tom Brady. Super Bowl.
And Atlanta's got some pretty good weapons on their team. A couple of running backs.
You got Fields. A guy that, hey, you put him in the right situation.
Yeah.
Can you trade everything and say, hey, Caleb Williams is going to lead us to the Super Bowl? Probably not his first year.
No.
So that's why I'm thinking, if you get a haul, I think you pull the trade.
Yeah.
You build that team up, and then Fields rides the ship till Kirk Cousins decide to play one more year and we go to the Super Bowl.
There you go. Well, speaking of Kirk Cousins plays for blank next season.
I think Minnesota is going to pull the trigger on signing him for 2 years, and they're going to draft McCarthy and have him sit for 2 years behind Cousins.
I would sentiment that idea that yes, he's
Or
going to be.
Knicks. I don't know. Maybe.
I
I've heard McCarthy.
McCarthy in the second round. They seem to think that they can get him in the second round, and I'm not sure if I'm real solid on that.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple Michigan quarterbacks that have done okay.
Yeah.
Just a couple. One's won like what, 7 Super Bowls? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think the Vikings will re-sign him. I think it's the Justin Jefferson saying, "Hey, I want this guy to be my quarterback," and you got a star player there. So, you know what I was going to ask you, and let's go back just to Justin Fields. You think they say, "Hey, where do you want to be traded?" You think that gets talked about once in a while to
asking them?
player? Yeah. Or could I know that they put together lists, and you know they say Atlanta's his hometown and all that stuff, and he would do well there. So I'm just curious what you think.
I don't know if they would do that because I mean, the minute you bring it up,
it gets freaking put. You tell your buddy
like, hey, like really, man?
Yeah,
you're going to trade me?
Yeah.
I mean, I've devoted how many years here, and now all of a sudden you're thrown. Or I mean, is it the same thing? Does Ryan Poles bring him in 3 weeks ago? Hey, here's the deal. This is what we're doing. You can't say anything, obviously, but you're our guy. But we want to make it seem like we're drafting Caleb Williams.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's right.
You know,
and that's what I think happens. And then if something becomes too much, and then they're like, okay, well, sorry, Justin, you're on your way to Atlanta. Goodbye.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Shouldn't have spread that news. So you're out.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. So, all right, here's one for you. Bill Belichick, who is not coaching this year because he kind of got shut out, will be on what network next year? Pre-game, maybe doing games, maybe something or another.
NFL Network.
I got NFL Network and I got ESPN. I think that ESPN would throw a load of money to get him, but I think he'd probably go to NFL Network. I think he'd be a little bit better at the NFL Network.
Yep.
So. Okay. Greg Olson wants to be the number one guy somewhere. He will be where next year? We know that Tom Brady's coming in.
Greg Olson, I hate to tell you this. Or wait, maybe this guy. No, he didn't retire. Jim Nantz. He's going to go team with Jim Nantz. And I don't know if he stepped away from. I think he's still broadcasting football.
Yeah,
he did this year. He did this year, but I don't know if he's stepping down or if he's.
Well, he's with Tony Romo, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Romo is going to be. I think Greg Olson's going to step in the Romo shoes.
What?
Yep.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think Olson's going to Prime. I just don't think Herb Street's not a fan. Kirk Herbstreit, I've read it that he's not a fan of doing the NFL games. So I think he'll go with Al Michaels and be on Prime. That's my guess.
Okay. All right.
That's my guess. Okay, here's one. Russell Wilson. Kind of wanted to get off that because Russell's really not high on my priority, but Russell Wilson will be the starting quarterback of blank next season.
Is he under contract with the Broncos, right?
And they could cut him. Well, they could cut him, but the Broncos are still, no matter what happens, they're still on the hook for all this money. So I think they would probably want to trade him to get something back.
Yeah. I could see, depending on the draft, I could see either Washington or the Raiders. I'm leaning more towards Washington.
You're going Washington. I'm going the Raiders. Only because
there he would have to be cut.
Yeah, I don't think the Broncos would trade him.
There would be no trade.
Right.
Just like everybody, the Bears aren't going to trade the Vikings the number one pick. I don't care. You're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Let's trade him Caleb Williams, see what happens. Yeah.
No, we don't. No, I don't think that's going to happen. So I think he would go the Raiders. I think he would want that kind of like, I got a chance to stick it to the Broncos 2 games a year, but I don't know. And I could see Washington. People are saying the Steelers is,
Does Cliff Kingsbury like Russell Wilson?
That I don't know, but I could see him being there.
Oh.
I could see him being in Pittsburgh too. I don't think Pickett's the answer. Would you want to go play for Mike Tomlin?
Knowing he's probably only got a couple years left, I don't know. I guess Russell Wilson's probably on the same boat.
He's
so.
got a couple years as
Yeah.
well. So, all right. Gonna throw a couple running backs at you here. Travis Henry, where's he play next year? Pretty much said that he's done with the Titans.
Yeah. I don't know how much gas he's got left in the tank either. I mean,
Right.
he's a big dude. I mean, when you're
Yeah.
carrying that around he dealt some punishment. I mean, a couple 2,000-yard seasons. He got banged up his last year. I don't see Travis Henry playing.
Woo.
Or Derrick Henry. You told me Travis earlier. And I said,
Yeah,
oh,
sorry.
Derrick.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
wrote
No, I don't.
Travis.
I don't see him playing. I don't see anybody picking him up next year.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Derrick Henry, I got him going to the Cowboys. Just Jerry Jones thinking, oh, we can get him. Okay. This guy hurt quite a bit. Sat out one season. Your Saquon Barkley's coming to the Bears, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right. I think he
Where do you
stays.
think he's going?
I think he stays with the Giants.
I think he wants out of New York.
Really? Okay. All right.
They got better turf in Chicago.
Well, that's true. Anyone we're missing? Like I was thinking, like Daniel Jones. Are the Giants going to keep with him when he comes back from injury?
I don't know why, but they're sticking with Dabble.
Yeah, and it sounds like he had a little bit of a he had a little chaos going on in his.
I did see an interview. Tom Brady was talking this morning or yesterday with McAfee. Kind of a cool interview.
Okay,
so just kind of talking about, hey, Patrick Mahomes. They're saying that he's the best quarterback ever to play the game if he wins his third Super Bowl. And Tom was pretty cool about it. I mean, he was just like, hey, I just tried to do my best. He's got 4 more Super Bowls to win, 3 more to win before he can
claim stake to that. Yeah,
I would say, I don't know. I mean, they're both in the AFC. They both have cushy divisions the years that they've been in.
Yeah.
Tom Brady had a really cushy division all the years that he was there. So he had many division titles, but there's years that AFC was horrible, but then there were some where teams started building.
Yeah, like the Bills were kind of coming on strong towards the end there.
Yep.
Dolphins
and then
were
he
a
goes
little
over the NFC and dominates for 1 year, and I played 1 year too long. I mean,
yeah. Well, they still made the playoffs. I mean,
but he looked horrible.
Yeah,
games that you're watching, you're like, wow, Tom. Well, he'd throw it into the ground 15 yards up the field, and the receiver's 25 yards up the field.
Yeah. Well, Father Time is still undefeated, no matter what. No matter how, So I just think that. So, all right.
No, I don't know who else is really out there. There's free agency will be.
Well, I know that the
March.
Yeah, I think March 1st or March 2nd is the beginning of the new year for the NFL.
Oh, okay.
And then free agency follows. So, a lot of steam that I see is that Antoine Winfield Jr. His dad played for the Vikings back in the day, and a lot of Vikings fans want to see him come back.
Oh, okay.
And play, and which, he was a golfer, so that'd be kind of a cool. But I don't know if is Smith going to stay around another year? Harrison Smith?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they say here are your top 10 free agents.
Okay.
Chris Jones, Kansas City.
I think he stays in KC.
Okay. You got Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle.
No clue who he is, so not even going to venture a guess.
It says here Josh Allen, edge.
Yeah, he plays for.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking
not.
Yeah. No, I think he stays put.
Yep.
Daniil Hunter, does he stay put in Minnesota?
No, I think he goes. Unless Flores can talk him into staying, which is possible. I mean.
Yeah, Montez Sweat, it says here, but I thought they locked him up. But
yeah, he's locked in.
Yeah, they locked him in during the.
So I'll say the Bears.
They got T. Higgins, Kirk Cousins, Jalen Johnson is one too. They haven't locked him up yet, so I think the Bears have to lock him up. And
who was the one after, or before Cousins?
T. Higgins, wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. Be interesting. He's actually pretty good receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I
they
don't
have
I don't
Chris
think he's
Jones 1. They have Kirk Cousins 2.
Okay.
Josh Allen's from Jacksonville 3.
Yeah, he's a
Higgins
pass rusher.
4.
Yeah.
Then they got some guy from the Panthers and the Ravens that irrelevant. Winfield Jr., Jalen Johnson, L'Jarius Sneed. There's quite a few. There's a couple Kansas City guys. Michael Pittman Jr. is also on the Bears' radar. They have him listed as a starter next year for the Bears.
He sucks. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I know. He only had a couple, like 100 some catches. No big deal.
Yeah. Gardner Minshew, where's he end up?
Mike Evans too. Minshew.
Yeah.
I think he ends up on the sequel to Napoleon Dynamite. Him and Uncle Rico will be playing catch in front of the Rocky Mountains. One will be on each side.
He just made the Pro Bowl, brother. Why are you calling him out like that? I could see him. He's like the Steeler. He's a steel curtain type of quarterback. Big Fu Manchu, just kind of gutsy. Plays well, I don't know. Steelers need
Pro Bowl?
Pro Bowl.
You talking Pro Bowl?
I could throw a football through a tire.
This Pro Bowl stuff. I mean, doesn't include the top 2 teams in the NFL.
Right. And then all the other.
You got guys that say, "Yeah, you know what? I'm on vacation that weekend, so I'm not going to attend."
Yeah.
And I mean, it means nothing to the players anymore. I don't think.
It's not like the baseball All-Star game where it really means something. Home field advantage.
I don't even think it means anything there either.
No, I agree with you.
I mean, I used to watch it, but now it's like, unless I'm there in person to see all these stars,
well, it's not even a Pro Bowl. They don't even play a game. Now they play like flag football.
Yeah, flag football. And then they're like, all right, we're going to do the tire competition where quarterbacks are going to throw through a little hole, 50 yards, and every 7th one goes through there and like, oh, pinpoint accuracy. It's like, well, it took them 7 tries to get into the hole.
It'd probably take me 10, but I could get it in there sooner.
Or later, eventually 1 out of 10 is pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
So, no, I will be watching none of that this weekend, but we can talk about it on Monday if you'd like, the results.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, here's my last thing for you. This weekend, there is a huge event going on, and it's not my birthday. There's another event going on. It is Steffi Graf and Andre Agassi is going to be taking on Maria Sharapova and John McEnroe in a pickleball game. So who's your champion? We'll bet $500 on it this weekend.
Are we able to bet on it in Vegas and Deadwood?
Oh, I believe so. Yes. It's kind of like a big deal here, brother.
I want to know what these guys are doing here.
I don't know what that is.
It's a bunch of linemen pulling the first down markers.
Was that last night's game? Night's
players for the NFC compete in the Move the Chains event.
Yeah. That's like the skills. They do like a skills thing last night.
Oh, that was last night?
Yeah. And then like Sunday they play flag football and all that crap. So it's all good. It's just weird what they do. They're just trying to figure out what people are going to say or do.
And Baker Mayfield is back in the Pro Bowl. Congratulations, Baker.
Woo! Nice work.
Did Justin Fields make it?
No, it's too fast. It's don't go away mad, Nolan. Just go away. I can hear you laughing. Yeah,
I'm not laughing.
You're smiling. Same thing. Go Justin Fields. He's going to be doing the Dirty Bird next year.
You see through the cap? Can you see through it?
I can. I know what it is. It's kind of like the read between the lines. Is that what you're telling me right now?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Explicit.
Oh, we got a comment here. You guys up to double-digit listeners yet? That's your brother.
Depends on the show.
Yeah, and then Ty's got an ego of like 10 people, doesn't he? So I mean, yeah, if he's listening to us right
Yeah.
now.
Ty's
So
pretty,
yeah.
Well, he's got his Baker Mayfield in the Pro Bowl, so Ty's probably going to be pulling up the couch and
He
popping
got the
popcorn.
he's got the Bucks jersey ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, nobody throws a football through a tire better than
like
Baker.
Baker Mayfield. Yes.
That's
Oh, I take that. Johnny Manziel does. Johnny
Oh,
Manziel.
yeah, well, there you go. There you go.
That Manziel.
Baker. Ooh. That's the Super Bowl.
So then last night, I know since he's listening, since last night, big night in the NBA last night. LeBron James and Anthony Davis took the night off
Yeah.
and beat the Celtics.
Oh, they did win
in Boston.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, did Boston sit their players too, or what?
No,
Or
I think they were full strength.
was it the D'Angelo Russell show, or what happened? Like,
Yep.
really? Okay. That's
He had a pretty solid night.
he's a good player. I just don't know why he didn't work out with the Wolves, but
Well, he might have some issues too.
well, don't we all? Don't we
Say,
all?
yeah, it was 114 to 105.
Wow, very nice.
And
They got
big
their
night
all.
was Austin Reeves. He had 32 points.
What did D'Angelo have?
D'Angelo had 16 points, 14 assists, and 8 rebounds. Almost had a LeBron triple double.
Almost triple double. There you go.
I have a
There you go.
feeling Ty already turned his.
We still got one viewer. So I thought maybe. Oh well, life goes on. So all right, brother. Well.
Baseball's right around the corner.
We're gonna play some ball. We got Twins are still looking for some starting pitching, I'm being told. Hopefully they'll find something.
Yeah, they'll get some good ones and then trade them at the end of the year for some AA guys. And
Yeah, Dodgers are all set to win the World Series this year.
Dodgers are in Minnesota to start the year off.
Are they
Like
really?
3 years, but it's like falls on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in April. And I just get back from Washington, so
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to swing that.
Yeah. What's Ty's baseball team?
Red Sox.
Oh, well, he's got some taste there. I like the Red Sox, so we can handle that. As long as it's not the evil empire. So
No,
all right.
I think he's not a Yankees fan, no.
Nobody likes the Yankees except people from New York. So
Yeah, exactly.
all right, brother. Well, I got to get ready for an 11:30 meeting. Told you I got to work today. Kind of a
Work
bummer.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to probably do some stuff too, and then who knows?
Make it happen.
Get ready for a long weekend.
Yeah. Well, good luck on your travels.
Yes. You too. Good luck on your meetings and
Oh, there
stay
you go.
classy.
I always do. Got to find where's our outing?